Today we're going to look at quadrilaterals and some strategies with those quadrilaterals. So first things first, we're going to talk about polygons and investigate some things with polygons. And today's goals overall are going to be I can describe the characteristics of a polygon using mathematical vocabulary. And I can reason about the area of a polygon by decomposing and rearranging it, and by using what I know about rectangles and triangles. So I'm going to really be applying what we learned before in this situation. So make sure you have today's date, your I can statement written down on the page number at the top of the page, and get ready to write. So first thing we're going to do here is I want you to take a look at these 4 triangles and figure out which one doesn't belong. So I think you could make arguments for a lot of them or you could make arguments for each of them as to why they don't belong. The one that I think most likely doesn't belong, though, is going to be S. And the reason that I say S is, why do you think? Yeah, it's because it has a right angle. The rest of these do not appear to have a right angle at all, because none of them have 2 of their lines using the grid lines to make an angle. And since they only have 1 that goes on the grid line and everything else goes in some sort of diagonal on it, probably the only one that really doesn't belong here. So what are polygons? Well, over here on the left, we have some polygons. And over on the right, these 6 are not polygons. So if you look at all of these, A through J, which ones would you say would go in the polygon category and which ones would not be polygons? So which ones are polygons? So a polygon is a multi-sided shape that is enclosed and encloses an entire area. Okay, so if I look at these, I think A is probably not, because you have an open part here. B is a polygon because you have sides to all of it and it's enclosed. C, I would say, is not a polygon because you've got multiple places put in together, so it doesn't end up creating what we would term as a polygon. D, I would say, is not a polygon. We've got some arced lines. E definitely is. F, I'm not sure what that white bar is there. If I'm just going with what's inside, then yes, it's a polygon. If that's supposed to be part of the shape, then I could see saying no. G is definitely a polygon. H would be a polygon if we had some defined sides to it. I mean, I know it ends, but we're talking about something that truly encloses an area, and this is just kind of an area that's in a triangular shape. This has got multiple enclosed areas, so this isn't a polygon. This is a set of polygons stuck together, so it's not really a polygon on its own. Same thing here. You've got multiple shapes enclosed. And a polygon really is just referring to things that are enclosed with no openings to it. Okay? If you are really into video games, back through video game history, they kind of talked about how polygon counts have increased. And what that means is that as part of the programming, a lot of the time they're using more and more different types of polygons to make images look more realistic than ever before. Whereas originally it started off as more square shapes, and then polygons took on most of the work by using multiple different sizes and shapes of different polygons to give it the natural, almost realistic look that some games have today. So we're going to look a little more at just quadrilaterals now. And what are quadrilaterals? Yeah, they're four-sided figures that enclose. So if I look here, I could easily find the area of any of these quadrilaterals, right? It's really just a matter of making something that we know how to find an area of. So like, let's say if we took A and we made two triangles, we could look at the spacing on that one. With B, same sort of thing. We could just make some triangles and a rectangle. In fact, on all of these, it's really just a matter of finding an area, a part of it that is something we can recognize and do easily. All right, let's actually see if we can try to figure out how you get your area for this. So see if you can figure out what the area of this would be. Yeah, this one's a rough one. So what I would do is I would be looking for some way that I could divide this out into easy to manage pieces. So I would probably do something like that, that, and that. Again, there are a lot of ways to break this up. So then I'm just looking at trying to get a base and a height on each of these. And it looks like these are all equivalent. So I've got 2 for a base, and then I've got what? 3 coming off for a height. So each of these, we've got 3 for a height, 2 for a base. So that would give us 6. Half of 6 is 3. So I got 3, 6, 9, 12. So I got 12 for that triangular piece. Again, you can do these how you want to do them. I'm going to make another set of triangles because then that should give me some squares. Now I kind of sectioned this off a little crazy, but to me this seems to make the most sense. So if I look at these triangles, I've got a base of, hang on a second. All right, that's much cleaner. So I've already gotten all of these taken care of, which gives me 3 for each, 12 overall for those triangles. I look inside here, I've got this triangle, it's a 2 by 2, which gives me 4. Half of 4 is 2. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, so that would give me another 8. And then I look at my squares, and those are 2 by 2, and that's 4, so I got 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20 more. So I get for this one 40 square units at the end. A little tricky, and there's a lot of other ways you could have done this one, but it's the way that I solve this particular one out. Okay? All right, so let's jot down some vocabulary. You need to get these definitions down as you're putting in your notes. First one is an edge. Each straight side of a polygon is called an edge. And then they give you an example here, so you use that picture, and then like B to C is an edge, C to D, A to E. You can put as much of that as you need to, but you should bare minimum get the vocabulary word and the definition. So pause if you need. Polygon is a closed two-dimensional shape with straight sides that do not cross each other. So again, that same model we looked at before is a polygon because it has multiple sides that are enclosed, no openings, and that none of the lines cross each other. Again, pause as you need. Quadrilateral is a four-sided polygon, so that's any four-sided polygon. Pentagons obviously aren't because they're 5. Rectangles are obviously because they got 4. Vertex. Vertex is where you have 2 or more edges meeting. So when we get those lines coming together, we make a vertex. So right here at B is the vertex for A and C coming together. So lines A, B, C, the vertex in that case would be B. So vertex is where 2 or more edges meet. So today we described the characteristics of a polygon, and we jotted some math vocabulary, and we talked about finding the area with polygons as well. All right. If you have any questions, make sure that you ask them during class time, and you're all set for today.